A long, long time ago, when unicorns still roamed the forests, and merfolk still dwelt in the shallow waters frequented by men, there ruled the Kingdom of Daventry, King Edward and his lovely queen. The people of Daventry were prosperous and happy, and everywhere peace reigned. But the king and queen were sad because they were childless. They had no son to inherit the throne, no daughter to gladden their hearts. One bright sunny day, King Edward the Benevolent, for so he was called, and his queen were walking in the castle gardens, when suddenly before them appeared a powerful sorcerer. "I know your problems, I can cast a spell that will bring you a child," he said. "Oh, great sorcerer, if you could help us, we will be everlastingly grateful," said the queen. "We will bestow you many honors and great riches," said the king. "I have no use for honors and riches. My payment will not be so great. All I ask in return is the mahogany-framed mirror that hangs in your private chamber." The sorcerer's words gave them pause, for the mirror was priceless. It had the power to read the future and help Daventry prosper. The royal couple used it to foretell the weather and planning the harvest. It had the kings and queens before them. It had been hundreds of years since a crop has been planted before the last frost, or had been ruined by the autumn rain. When the sorcerer desired indeed was valuable, the king and queen retired to the chamber to consult the mirror. King Edward and his wife gazed into the mirror steps and saw a young princely figure with a gold crown upon his head. Imagining the youth to be their son they yearned for, the royal couple gladly bestowed the mirror upon the sorcerer. He took it to his dwelling, where he set one of his beasts to guard over it. Months passed, and the queen did not conceive a child. For the first time in 400 years, Daventry lost the harvest to an early autumn rain storm. The king and queen wept, for everyone tightened their belts instead of having excess produce to sell to neighboring kingdoms. The people of Daventry had to supply their stores with what they bought elsewhere. With famine came dreaded plague, and the queen was stricken. For 3 days she lay gripped as the great fever, with Edward maintaining a constant vigil by her side. On the 4th day, the queen's illness and diminishing figure pushed his way between the legs of the castle guards. "I have a cure for the queen," he claimed. Quickly the courtiers ushered him to the queen's chamber, where the king despaired. "I have traveled the great distance to bring relief to your dear wife. This is a powerful root known only to the Dorvins and will cure any plague." The Dorn leaned over the queen and touched the root to her lips. Her eyes fluttered open and she smiled at him. The queen's attendants looked at each other in wonderment. "Only a touch revived her," they whispered. "Imagine how fast she will recover if we give her the whole root." "Ask any reward for this miraculous gift for Swan," exclaimed the king. "I ask for payment of the shield left by your father when he died," said the dwarf softly. The king paled at the thought. The shield, made of titanium, is set with emeralds and traditionally carried by the battle of the ruler of Daventry. Legend held that he who bore the shield was invincible, and his army always victorious. Thus there has been no successful attack on Daventry for over 500 years. "Again I ask as a man, I will give you your weight in gold, but please do not ask for the shield," said the king. "Do you not appear to value your wife, your highness?" said the dwarf. "I will take no reward other than that I was requested." Hotly he turned to go. "Come back," Edward called. "I'll give you the shield." The dwarf took the shield secretly away to the hole in the ground in the way of dwarves. The queen partook the root, but to no avail. She worsened and died. Daventry church bells tolled for the morning of King Edward vowed vengeance against the false dwarf. Years passed, and the news of the lost shield was spread. Armies attacked and weakened Daventry. The king went out to lead his armies without the shield. Many years passed, and the king was very lonely. One day, while out riding in the countries, Edward came upon a pack of wolves tearing the lower limbs of a great tree. When the group approached, the wolves scattered to reveal a young beautiful woman perched high in the tree. She descended regally. I thank you for your rescue, kind sirs. I am Princess Dahlia of Cumberland. I was traveling through this land when a pack of wolves fell upon me. My bodyguard fell in terror from their fangs, leaving me quite alone. I owe you my life, my heartfelt gratitude. The king was charmed by Princess Dahlia and brought her back to the castle to visit. He felt new life coursing through her veins and knew it was because he had met someone who might fill the lonesome left by his late queen. In due time, Edward asked Dahlia to marry him, and she accepted. The people of Daventry were widely excited to prosper of a new queen, and hopeful again for another heir, and made preparations for the glorious wedding celebration. On the night before the wedding, when the air resounded was toasts, merriment, Princess Dahlia bid Edward good night. He never noticed her hand stealing to his belt and extracting the ring of keys hanging there. Much later, the royal treasurer approached the king with alarmed news. He had discovered the treasury door was standing open, and the king's own key in the lock. Princess Dahlia had been inside, holding a small chest of gold. The treasurer stood frozen to the spot. The princess' light laughter changed to a witch's cackle. From her form grew an old, withered witch. She grasped the chest and mounted her broom and flew out the open window. The treasurer watched in horror as she swooped up through the clouds and disappeared. When the king heard the news, he wept in despair. The chest was magic, and the last great treasure remained in Daventry. No matter how much was taken from it, the chest always remained brimming with gold coins. Without the chest, Edward could not buy more food or pay no more soldiers. Many more years passed, and the Daventry grew poor and weak. King Edward was old and feeble, and saw that the end was near. Fearing the country would fall into even greater disorder when he died, he sent for his favorite knight, Sir Graham. You are the bravest and trusted knight in my kingdom, Sir Graham. Long ago I envisioned your form in my magic mirror, and thought I was seeing my son and heir. The years have proven me at least half wrong, but the prophecy may be yet fulfilled. To prove yourself worthy of my crown, I command you to journey into the world and retrieve these 3 great treasures taken from Daventry by treachery and stealth. Fail, and our beautiful Daventry will go even richer until it's invaded and conquered by unfriendly nations. Succeed in this great quest, and you shall become king upon my death. This I promise by all that is honorable and right. Look to the fables and the fairy stories of yore for clues. Leave no stone unturned, no avenue unexplored, and you will triumph your quest. Along the way, collect as many treasures as you can. Kingdom Daventry will need everything you will bring back, and you will profit from your experience. Go now, Sir Graham, and in the words of King Edward, may you return victorious. And that is the overview of King's Quest 1. And it took me nearly 9 minutes to explain. This is the map of Daventry, which you can barely see because it's blurry on the camera. That is King Graham when he finds the mirror. Well, Knight Graham. These are 2 maps. That's the map of West Daventry, East Daventry, the land of the leprechauns, the land of the clouds, and that's him roaming through the forest, and that's a different shot or something altogether. So that is the overview of King's Quest 1. Next time, I'll actually be playing it. See you then. Bye.